Welcome back to Poker Tales from Across the Table. I'm your host Rico, your poker storyteller, rounder, and full-time analyzer at the Fell. Today's episode is titled Lady Joker: Seeing the Patterns in Poker. It's a story about recognizing patterns, understanding what they reveal about a player's possible hand, and learning how to turn that information into profit. Ah, yes, the story of Lady Joker. This takes me back to a late night, or more accurately, an early morning, in Las Vegas, Nevada, back when Treasure Island still spread a 3-6 limit hold'em game. I used to call it a drinking game with cards, and honestly, that night lived up to the name. My brother and I had already knocked back a few beers before deciding that playing poker was a brilliant idea. The poker room was close enough to the bar that we figured, why not? So we took a casual stroll over to see what kind of action was running. At 3 a.m., the room had two tables going, a 3-6 limit game and a no limit hold'em game. We didn't feel like waiting for seats in the no limit hold'em game, so we jumped into the limit game instead. As soon as we sat down, I started analyzing the table, picking off the personalities, the tendencies, the easy targets. The table was exactly what you expect at 3 a.m. A mixture of drunks splashing chips, a couple of competent players scooping late pots, and a handful of women who were actually playing solid poker, while most of the men were gambling on vibes alone. Once we settled in, my brother and I began our usual routine. We played tight, played smart, and let everybody think we were loose drunks getting lucky. And it worked. We looked like maniacs, but underneath the surface, we were calculating strong EV, expected value, on every decision. To the untrained eye, we were just two lucky guys catching cards, and that illusion made other players loosen up, chase hands, and bleed chips. Some players get frustrated when they don't know or don't understand the psychology of the game. Enter Lady Joker. Lady Joker was a middle-aged woman who had been making a small profit before we sat down. She played tight, very tight, and time players have their own weaknesses. My brother recognized her style almost immediately. After a few orbits, he picked up her betting patterns, and once he understood her rhythm, he started to exploit it. He began raising pots she would almost always fold. He pressured her in spots where her tight style couldn't withstand the aggression. And as the early morning rolled on, her stack began to shrink. She grew visibly upset. After losing a big pot to my brother, she slammed her cards down and yelled.
I'm playing with a bunch of clowns.
My brother didn't miss a beat. He started singing.
Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right.
Lady Joker stared daggers at my brother as she re-raised him. My brother, knowing she was on tilt, re-raised her back, and they went to war until all the chips were in the pot. Lady Joker proudly flipped over two pair. My brother looked at her, grinned, and sang.
Well, I don't know why I came here tonight.
Then he flipped over a set. He scooped the pot and Lady Joker's entire stack. She stood up and declared.
I've never played with such lucky clowns.
Then that's when I chimed in, singing. Just look closer, easy to trace the tracks of my tears. The whole table bursted out laughing as Lady Joker stormed out the room. Watching my brother dismantle her game, I realized something important. He wasn't just playing cards, he was playing patterns. He saw her tight tendencies, recognized her predictable reactions, and adjusted his strategy to exploit her. And that's the lesson of today's episode. When my brother and I slid into the 3-6 limit game, it felt less like joining a poker table and more like stepping into a stage already mid-performance. Every player had a role, every stick of chips was a prop, every bet and pattern was a line in the script, and all we had to do was pay attention. The cast was easy to spot once the cards started flying. There were the tight players, back straight, hands neatly stacked, eyes fixed forward. They played like they were guarding a secret, folding anything that didn't sparkle, predictable discipline, and oh so easy to push around. Across from them sat the loose players, the gamblers, the ones who treated every hand like a lottery ticket. Chips splashed, bets fired, emotions worn proudly on their sleeves. Unpredictable, sure, but also easy to trap if you let them hang themselves. Then you had the tilted players, the ones who had already lost the pot. Their frustration leaked into every decision, every sigh, every muttered complaint. Tilt makes a player transparent, and transparent players are easy to take money from. And finally, the grinders, the quiet ones, the watchers, the players who weren't there for fun or chaos, but for the long game. Strategic, absorbent, dangerous. You don't bluff a grinder, you outthink them. Lady Joker belongs squarely in the first category. Tight, predictable, pattern driven. She played like her cards were museum pieces, only the finest were worthy of display. And once my brother spotted her rhythm, he didn't just play against her, he played through her. The second lesson is that poker is a mirror. As the night rolled on, the table became more of a collection of characters. It became a mirror. Every bet reflected a habit, every check revealed a fear, every raise exposed a comfort zone. Patterns weren't just something to observe in others, they were something others could observe in us. Lady Joker's mistake wasn't just playing tight, it was playing tight in the exact same way. Every single hand, my brother saw her pattern, but if he had stuck to one of his own routines, she might have seen that too. Poker punishes repetitions, it rewards adaptation. Your betting patterns tell a story, your timing tells a story, your reactions tell a story, your aggression tells a story. If you don't mix up your play, you become a character everybody can read. And once they can read you, they can beat you. To understand the patterns to improve your cash flow. Patterns aren't just quirks, they're clues. They reveal hand strength ranges, comfort levels, fear points, tilt triggers, bluff frequencies. Lady Joker's pattern was a simple four-note melody. She only played strong hands, she folded to aggression, she never bluffed, she tilted when pressured. Once my brother recognized that tune, he played in harmony with it, re-raising when she would fold, pushing when she would panic, backing off only when she finally woke up to with a monster. Her predictability became his profit. That's how you improve your cash flow at the table. Find who folds too much, find who calls too much, find who raises too much, and find who tilts too easily. Then adjust, adopt, and exploit. Everybody can see patterns, but few understand them. Most players notice patterns they see on the surface.
He always bets on the river.
She always checks on the flop.
He only raises pre-flop with premiums.
But they don't connect the dots. They don't ask the why. They don't predict what comes next. They don't adjust before their opponent does. Lady Joker saw us winning pots and assumed we were lucky clowns. She saw the outcome, not the pattern, and that misunderstanding cost her every chip she brought to the table. Lady Joker taught us a valuable truth. Poker isn't about the cards, it's about the patterns. If you can read betting patterns, emotional patterns, or reaction patterns, you can predict behavior. And if you can predict behavior, you can control the flow of the game. Patterns are the fingerprints of poker. Learn to read them, and you'll always be one step ahead. Thank you for joining me for episode 5 of Poker Tales from Across the Table. In the next episode, we'll break down a skill every poker player needs, feeling the rhythm of the game, knowing when to hold them, and knowing when to fold them. Make sure to subscribe, share the show, and leave a review. If you enjoyed today's episode, until next time, play smart, stay aware, and remember, the table's always watching.